Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What do we call it? Dr. Google?
I think we're calling it Dr. Ads.
Dr. Ads. Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Ads. It's Kasim and John from Solutions 8. Today we're talking about Google Analytics and why you should connect it with Google Ads.
Yeah, so there's actually a multitude of things that you can connect Google with. Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Google My Business, YouTube, all this stuff. And there's particular reasons why you would add other types of Google assets to Google Ads because it all kind of feeds information into it. Let me share my screen so I can let you know how this works. So you're actually looking at our campaign. And so we're going to be blurring out some trade secrets, things like keywords, because obvious reasons,
What you're bidding against us.
Exactly. So we have our two campaigns here, just a simple search campaign and marketing campaign. This is what we use for ourselves. But here's the cool part. Inside of the search campaign, go to keywords. And inside of keywords, when you're at this level, what you want to do is go into columns, modify columns, and then you'll see this little place called Google Analytics. Now, this is after you've linked up Google Analytics. We have a video about how to link different things to your Google Ads account. So that's something that we'll probably put in the description so that we can make sure to give you kind of a tutorial on how to do that. But once you've linked up analytics with Google Ads, you'll have a few different things that you can look at. It pulls in by keyword the bounce rate of a person, the pages per session, so how many pages they view during their session, which means when they're on your site, how many pages do they view, average session duration in seconds, obviously, how long they're on the site, and what percentage of new sessions. So if you're running Google Ads and you have people that are visiting the site often or coming back to you, you'll be able to see how many of those are first-time viewers versus how many have already been to your website before. So I'm gonna go ahead and add all of these here. And I want to kind of give you a way that you can use this for bidding strategies, for keyword development, for native keywords, whatever it may be. When you add all four of these at the keyword level, it's really important that you're looking at the search keyword level. And you click apply, you'll see that over on the right-hand side, when you're looking at the keywords, you'll have specific analytical data about those keywords. So I'm going to sort by conversions descending, so it means most amount of conversions to least. And the cool part about this is you get to see what are the clicks, the impressions, the click-through rates, average cost per click, how much you spent, how many conversions you generated, what the cost per conversion is, conversion rate, all the good stuff. And then what's the bounce rate? This is going to be, bounce rate is, did people land on your site, spend 2 to 3 seconds there, realize they're in the wrong section, and then bounce. This bounce rate is really good for finding out if the keyword is even really relevant to your audience. Because if you're bidding on a specific keyword and someone uses that keyword to click on your ad and goes to the site and they have a high bounce rate consistently, maybe is not a relevant keyword as maybe you thought it was. Maybe it was relevant to you, but it's just not how people are searching. Pages per session. This goes towards a few different things on your site. Are you sending them to the right landing page? Is your landing page well built? Like, are they bouncing around to other pages because they just need to know more because they still don't have their answer yet? High pages per session could be that you offer a multitude of services, or that the keyword that you're focusing on has a lot to do with, a lot of products or a lot of services that you provide. If you're a web development company, people want to see your logo development, your costs, how long you've been in business. All those things are really important to a person. So looking at how many pages per session gives you an idea of are they engaging, and maybe are they engaging too much? Are they having a low conversion rate and a high pages per session? Means they keep searching around your site, aren't looking for the answer, and they leave. It's a good time to probably get a chat on your site to see if you can answer those questions. Average session duration. This one's also really important in seconds. A keyword that has a low average session duration is maybe not going to be as relevant. Maybe that's kind of like indicative of a high bounce rate. Sometimes you could be sending a person to a landing page, and that landing page just, it's very captivating. The average session duration doesn't start until they switch pages. So if you have, 0, it doesn't mean that they just, didn't stay on your site. It just means that they just left that one page. And then percentage of new sessions. This should be pretty high if you're running Google Ads. If you have people that are coming back quite often, then maybe put a chat on your page, or maybe change your call to action. Maybe try a different call to action. If they keep coming back for more information and they haven't contacted you yet, maybe it's time to see what you're asking them to do. Call to action is going to be almost as important, maybe more important than the content on your site. So the nice part about this is when you take into consideration what you're spending, what it's resulting in, and how people are interacting with those keywords, you get to make some pretty quality decisions. So for example, this one here, I'll take this one here. I can't give you the keyword because it is a relevant keyword for ours, but it's a very broad keyword, more general type of keyword. It's kind of has to do with PPC and ads and just kind of the whole ecosystem. And it's very broad. Well, because of that, we can see that we have a conversion. It's on the higher end of cost per conversion, 485. It's one of our highest. We do have higher, but it's the second highest one on this page. Conversion rate's fairly low. Bounce rate's fairly low. The pages per session is low, but the average session duration is low. So what we're seeing this is, while we are going to be able to convert a user and still relevant, my conversion rate's not that great, and people don't spend a lot of time on my site or view a lot of other pages for this keyword. So this would be a keyword that's probably going to be either A, on the chopping blocks soon, like if I just wanted to go through and optimize my campaign. People aren't engaging that much, and it's not too expensive of a keyword, but I'd probably rather put that somewhere else. My cost per conversion is over the goal. I want to stay 250 or less, like kind of overall for my account. And so this is just kind of hurting my campaign. So this is probably something that I'll remove. And the nice part about this, when you look at that keyword level in a campaign, you're dedicating a daily ad spend to all of your keywords in that campaign. So anytime you can take one that is not showing good engagement and not showing good results, and you take that out, you're going to use that ad spend for the other keywords in that campaign. So it's a way for you to kind of say, I have $50 here and $50 here. This is $50 is going to go for good. This $50 would go to bad. Why not just make $100 go to the good? So you're kind of just house cleaning and keeping track of, is my conversion rate and my engagement low on both? If they're both are yes, and you have a long enough timeline to make that decision, that's a good way for you to see, well, it's not, maybe it's not my site. It's just across the board, that keyword just doesn't work for my campaign. And I can actually see, even if I didn't have conversions, it may not come to good conversions in the future. A couple things you want to think about though too is make sure that you have enough data. We have one click on this one here, and we don't have any conversions. We have 1 pages per session and an 8-second session duration. Well, that's just one data point. That's not enough to say, oh, this is terrible. You want to get at least 20, 30, 40 clicks before you start to make those type of decisions of, is this going to be good or is this going to be bad? Like, am I watching this keyword to see if it's really going to do good, or should I put this keyword off to the side, check back in next week, and if it still hasn't done anything, then after another 20 clicks, then let's get rid of that keyword. But this is a way for you to pull in not only what has happened with those keywords, but how are people interacting with your site, and it can give you some really, really good insights.
That was amazing, Doctor. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You are cured. You are healed.
You've already touched on this a little bit, but I want to revisit it because it's really important for me as a business owner. I'm always worried that we're stopping 3 feet from gold. You run marketing campaigns, you're hemorrhaging money sometimes, and anytime I'm about to turn something off, I'm always like, gosh, are we just on the precipice of a success? Mm-hmm. And what I like about this is it's not necessarily the cure-all, but it's definitely an indicator that you may be. If I've got low conversions, but my bounce rate is low, number of pages is high, average session duration is high, I'm gonna look at that and say, okay, you know what? This is quality traffic. There's something that I need to do on the page in order to improve the landing page experience. Maybe. I just think it's a really effective way to take a look at how successful your campaign is being right up until the conversions.
Yeah, and a good way to look at that too is you almost have to think about, well, how much gold am I willing to spend before I find more gold? So a way to kind of look at this too is if you sorted the keywords by cost, you can find some things that you may say, like, I was wrong, and it's so relevant, and the keyword is perfect, but it just hasn't panned out. When you sort by cost, you're seeing what are you spending the most amount of your money on, and your cost and your conversions should be overlapped fairly well. Mm-hmm. But for example, this keyword here, we spent $475 on it. I'm looking at the keyword now, and it's like it's long tail. It describes exactly what we do and what someone was going to look for. Obviously, we have 11% click-through rate on it. It's fantastic. And we just have, low pages per session, low average session duration, high bounce rate, and it just hasn't panned out. And you have to kind of make that decision, and you have to look back further, like look back a few more months to say, did this ever give us any good results and cannot be, results driven in the future. And maybe it's just something you temporarily pause. But when you sort by cost down, it's like, how much money are you willing to spend before you say, you know what, it's just not worth it. Even though it could be like, I'm looking for John Moran that works at Solutions 8 and we don't get any conversions. You gotta just kind of face facts. If it doesn't produce, stop spending on it. Put that ad spend to keywords that are going to spend. So yeah, it's something that you have to kind of make that decision, and then also take into consideration other ancillary things. What are you tracking? Are you tracking all of your phone calls? Are you tracking all of your chats? Are you tracking all of your form fills? Are you tracking not only your call to action, but contact us and the lead magnet? Because even though this says 0, they might still be getting in contact with you with just other different ways. So make sure that you're crossing all of your T's and dotting your I's before just throwing out the most relevant keyword that when you pause it and a week later, you're like, no, my phone call slowed down. I don't know why.
Well, to a point that we make often, there's offline conversions, assisted conversions, top conversion paths. So you might have a keyword that's producing for you and you just don't realize it because it can't be tracked for whatever reason. There's that disassociation.
Yeah. They found you on their cell phone, and then 2 days later, they went to your website directly from the laptop when they're at Starbucks, and then boom, you got a new client. Right. So yeah, look at other things than just this one page, obviously, and that's why you hire companies like us, since we know that and we don't accidentally, cut the red wire, and that was the one that triggered the bomb. That's all the things that you got to want to take into consideration. But it's a good indicator. This is a good starting point to say, like, okay, where should I start my search?
By the way, look at those conversion rates: 8%, 11%. We don't mess around. 9%.
I know it's like we do this for a living or something.
I think we know what we're doing. Cool. Do we know what we're talking about tomorrow?
Yeah. Tomorrow is going to be a really good one. I'm going to teach you, if you're not an ads agency, and if you're an ads agency and you're hiding something, I'm sorry. But I'm going to teach you tomorrow how to spy on your Google Ads agency that's maintaining your campaigns for you without them knowing. Stay tuned. It'll be a good one.
I just wrote that down. Awesome. Thanks for connecting. By the way, if you have any questions, ask in the comments. We'll get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe because we're coming at you daily with an immense amount of value, and you want to get notified.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, John.